Hi guys, I'm Kiandra with FreshRx Oklahoma, and we're here at Sprouts today doing another smart shopping series to teach you guys how to select healthier options for your meals and your snacks. Follow me and let's go pick out some healthy stuff, and make sure to comment below where you want us to shop next. Okay, so Sprouts has a lot of options when it comes to bread. The biggest thing that I'm going to tell you is we want to go for a not white bread. We want to get a whole wheat bread or even a gluten-free bread. And the most important thing to do is to turn it over and look at the label. We want to see the amount of ingredients, the amount of carbohydrates, and any additives that we have. Because just because it's low in carbs doesn't necessarily mean that there's not a lot of stuff added to it. So just be mindful of that. This is a great option because there's lots of seeds in here as well, so you get lots of things for your heart, extra fiber, great for avocado toast. So over here, there's different options for tortillas if you're going to eat them. I always recommend using like a romaine lettuce wrap or something like that for additional nutrients. But if we're going to get a tortilla, they have carb balance, and they have these that are zero net carbs. These are whole wheat, so obviously it's going to be a better option than the bleached white flour, but it's significantly less carbohydrates than your regular tortillas. And for my gluten-free friends, they have a lot of gluten-free options. There's like a whole refrigerated option. They've got tortillas, bagels, and breads. So those of you who can't eat gluten or trying to reduce that to help reduce the amount of inflammation or just to see if it helps you feel better, this is a great selection over here. We always want to make sure that we're staying hydrated throughout the day. So of course, water is going to be our best option, or coconut water. Coconut water has a lot of natural electrolytes. It's like a natural Gatorade. But if you're craving something that's kind of like a soda but doesn't have as much sugars and things that are bad for you, they've got some great sodas here that have probiotics in them. So they're really good for your stomach. And they also only have 7 grams of carbohydrates in them. There's not one specific brand that you should choose over the other. Just flip it over and read the ingredients and make sure that you're getting what you need. But we always want to go for less carbohydrates. They also have these nice Zevious sodas, and these are made with stevia. So there's no sugar in them at all. So if you're craving like a ginger beer or a root beer, this is a healthy way to satisfy that craving without making our blood sugar go up. If you like drinking kombucha, which is great for your gut health, it's almost cost effective to get the biggest one instead of some of the smaller ones because you get more servings. And this is also a lower carbohydrate beverage as well. And it has that fermented like bite to it and the bubbles, so it kind of like mimics a soda, but actually has health benefits. We talk a lot about healthy snacking in our classes, and coming over to the little cheese station, there's not just cheeses over here, but this is going to be the cheapest place to get your cheeses with the best quality. So most of these are not pre-sliced, and when you get them pre-sliced, they actually put potato starch on the cheese slices so that they don't stick together, which works in some ways, but then you're actually getting extra carbohydrates in your cheese. So when you buy it like this and shred it yourself, or just use it for like a cheese platter, or if you're making like an adult lunchable charcuterie board with a lot of veggies, you got some cheese for protein. There's also olives, which are great for your heart. There's peppers and different pickled veggies that are really, really good for your gut and also good for your heart. So this is a great place to go if you're looking to create snacks throughout the week that are cost effective, that you can just grab and go, and you're staying healthy. So when it comes to choosing our meats, they have a lot of different options. For beef specifically, we want to be looking for things that are still good for our heart. Like there is a lot of amino acids in beef, and it is a good source of protein. But we want to be mindful of some of these like fat ringlets that we have on here. They're good for flavor, but if we're trying to be mindful of our heart health, we might want to stick with something that's more like stew beef, or something like this Angus beef, like the rump roast. You can see there's less fat, and you can also make this into multiple meals. This is really great for like chili or a pot roast, and you can also freeze batches of it to save for later and make your money, last a little bit longer. When it comes to ground beef, we want to be mindful of where it's coming from. So there's a little bit of a debate if grass-fed beef is actually better for you. It actually is. Nutritionally, the grass-fed beef is more healthy than the corn or grain-fed beef. Your best bet is to actually go to the farmer's market and get it from a local butcher though. But they do have the options. Chicken is a great source of protein. I'm always going to say you want to opt for getting a whole chicken if you can. They can be a little more difficult to break down, but if you use a sharp knife and you're safe, it's actually going to be handled less than something that you get that's broken down, so there's less risk of it being contaminated, and you're going to get more. And then you can also take the bones and boil it down with veggies to get a nice good bone broth, which is really good for you. And it just stretches longer. And of course, we want to make the biggest bang for our buck. So buying a whole chicken is obviously going to do that, but they do have other options as far as chicken breast, chicken thighs, and various other things. I would say always check on their sales. So Wednesdays are the best day to come because they have their sales from the previous week and the next week, so they all overlap. So you can really just come and buy what's on sale and then save some of it in the freezer for a week or two and then heat some up for your current meal prep. Sprouts is known for having its farmers market style kind of layout. So as you can see, they have all their produce in the middle of the store. And that's honestly the best and healthiest and cheapest place to shop at Sprouts, is in the middle of the store. So we have our organic options, which obviously aren't going to have pesticides on them or any harsh chemicals, which our bodies still tend to react to. But they also have conventionally grown produce as well to supplement produce that you might get at your distributions. So let's go take a look at some of their options. So you're always going to find sales. Right now they have buy one, get one, 50% off. And their organic blueberries are 3 for $10. So obviously the prices change, but they rotate through their sales often. As I said, Wednesday's the best day to come. And if you see something like this and you're like, there's no way I could eat 3 by the time they'd go bad, these are great to freeze. You can use them for smoothies. You can use them as ice cubes in your water, use them to bake with, on oatmeal, lots of different things. So definitely you want to buy it in bulk when it is cheaper and find ways to save it for later. You can also find lots of medicinal roots and spices here at Sprouts. These are great for the turmeric ginger shots that we like to make in class and drink regularly. They're also good for cooking. You can freeze them and then grate them into your food. It's very, very good. They also have additional herbs and other things you can put in your food to flavor it, but also to add more nutrient value. In a pinch, sometimes we always need a quick dinner. Sometimes getting rice cauliflower can be really, really easy as a rice substitute. So it's obviously cauliflower has tons of fiber and you can just steam it in the oven. It's going to be healthier than going out to eat and picking something up. You're still making it from home, but it also has nutrient value. They also have different quinoa. This one has butternut squash and tomatoes, but these are really quick in just less than 5 minutes. You just need a quick protein with it. Throw some beans in there, full meal. It's winter, so the farmer's market doesn't have a lot of berry options, but they have a lot of really good benefits to them. So you can always opt to getting frozen. So when they freeze berries, they're picked at their peak and then frozen immediately. So these are going to be the next best thing to fresh. And I love that they have wild blueberries because these are actually way better for you and they have twice as many antioxidants in them. But there's a cherry berry with kale, which is really good. But these are also great to just add to your overnight oats or oatmeal, or just with snacks that you have going on in your protein pancakes. It's just good to have on hand. So when we're trying to pick the healthiest yogurt, we want to stay away from things, say, like fat-free, because it also means like a chemical crap storm in the yogurt. And then we want to try to stay away from the ones that are sweetened a lot because they can have just as much sugar as some cereals. So we want to try to get a Greek yogurt, or even if you want to splurge for like a Bulgarian yogurt, the way that it's made, there has way more probiotic and prebiotic properties to it. I always opt for getting like a plain one, and then you can add like stevia or agave and whatever other type of flavor extracts you want. You can get vanilla extract or almond extract, all those things, or just add berries to it. They also have the Chobani Zero Sugar, which those are flavored. These are great for parfait options, and they're not going to spike your blood sugar in the morning. And my favorite aisle is the seasonings and herbs. No matter what we eat, we can make it taste good and also be better for us by using different herbs and spices. A lot of them are good for us. They have a lot of nutritional benefits and they can help with inflammation and various other things. So adding them to the veggies we're already cooking is just going to help us more. And then it tastes really good. Sometimes, like right now, they're having a buy one, get one free. That's amazing. I always say stock up. They last a very, very long time. They also have real salt and Celtic salt, iodized salt. Iodized salt's really good if you have issues with your thyroid, but they have various options here. But this is my favorite thing. They have everything in bulk too. So they have these little baggies. We talk a lot about not using the pre-made seasoning packets because they have a lot of sodium, a lot of other byproducts, and just things that our bodies don't react well to. And you could even be cooking really healthy and doing a lot of damage to your heart by having these, like the taco seasonings that have like 1,200 milligrams of sodium in them. Obviously it's not healthy, but what we can do is come and buy them in bulk and then mix and match and create our own seasonings. So we've made an Italian seasoning in class. But this is also a good place if you want to try a new flavor profile, or you're a little nervous to try something. You can just get a little bit and come back and add to it. But they have honestly everything here. So they've got like yellow mustard seed. You can soak these and make your own mustard. They've got turmeric root. You can make your own tea out of it. They've got ginger. They've got cardamom pods and anise seed. These are really good for you. And nutritional yeast. If you're trying to stay away from cheese and dairy, a lot of those recipes call for nutritional yeast to add that like cheesy flavor. You can find that here. And just get a little bit. It's way cheaper this way than buying like a full thing of it that you may not even eat the whole thing. But I would definitely come and check it out. Here we have some beef jerky and some turkey jerky. These are great options to put in your snack prep, meal prep. It's a good protein source. Our bodies are more satisfied the more we chew, and so beef jerky is a really good way to snack a while without overindulging and overeating. And it's a great source of protein. So they have different brands. As always, we just want to flip it over and read the label and see what's the healthiest option for us. And this is another favorite section of mine, which is the tea aisle. So I really like having tasty beverages throughout the day, but I don't like raising my blood sugar. So tea is a great option. There's also lots of nutritional benefits to them. So you can come and choose what flavor you'd like. If there's a certain ailment or something, like you want some more energy or you have a sore throat, they have lots of different options for that. And then you can pick a stevia or non-sugar replacement option to sweeten it. You can make them hot or iced. You can make a full pitcher. It's just great to have on hand, and you'll be more likely to reach for the healthier option if it's already made for you. I wanted to take a second to talk about the alkaline water that they offer. They have lots of different brands, but having alkaline water on hand is really good for you, especially if your blood sugars have been running high. Higher blood sugar means that our body is more acidic, thus the diabetic ketoacidosis, right? So if we can reduce the amount of acidity in our body, it helps. And also the thirst that comes when your blood sugar is really high, I feel like this also satisfies that a bit more because it actually has some minerals in it as well. They have a lot of sugar replacement options here. So this is over in like the vitamin section, but they have stevia. They have flavored stevia like hazelnut, vanilla cream, vanilla caramel. That's really good for your coffee. If you're used to having like a sugared creamer, you can add this with like some almond milk. Very, very delicious. But they also have powdered stevia. They have xylitol. They've got monk fruit. And I really like these because you can put them in your purse like to go. So if you're like going out to eat or somewhere, you're not sure if they have like stevia or anything like that, this is a great option to have. So we're here in the bulk section, which is going to be probably your favorite section once you're done shopping here. So they have different types of seeds, from flax seeds to ground flaxseed meal, which you can use to bake with, or you can make protein and fiber pancakes with them, sesame seeds, hemp seeds. So we just did a no-bake cookie demo, which had hemp seeds in them. You can get them here. And they don't have to buy a full bag if you don't want to pay the costs for the full bag. You can just get a small amount. They also have a lot of options if you're like a crunchy snacker. So they have carrot chips and they have green bean chips, which are actually way better than they sound. But these are obviously going to have more nutritional benefit than eating a bag of chips. And that's really what we're here for, right? So there's different beet chips. We've got sunflower seeds. They do have some pretzel options. I would just say be careful and be mindful because those do have carbohydrates in them. But luckily, they put the nutrition facts here so you can figure out exactly how much carbohydrates would be per serving. Moving on, we've got pumpkin seeds, which are great for your heart health, which are really great for men's health. Banana chips, plantain chips, salted veggie chips, just all the veggie chip options. So I just say come and get a couple handfuls of them to try throughout the week and see what your favorites are. I think you'll really be surprised. They also have different trail mix options, but I would be mindful that a lot of them do have like dried cranberries or dried cherries in them and chocolate, which is fine in moderation. We just want to be mindful of the serving sizes that we're getting. If you're trying to eat healthy, you should be eating oatmeal no matter what stage you are in your health journey. So here you can buy it in bulk. They've got the rolled oats, they've got the steel cut oats, and they have quick oats, but we want to try to stay away from the quick oats because they've been processed so much that a lot of the fiber has been stripped out of them, and the fiber is what we're going for. It helps control our blood glucose and also helps give us fiber for the rest of the day, which is really good for our heart and good for our gut. So definitely want to check out the oats over here. So moving on, in the same bulk section, They also have monk fruit sweetener. They've got almond meal, cornmeal, quinoa, so the tricolored rainbow quinoa that you got from us a few months ago from one of our farmers. You can also get this here. It is a whole protein, really good to add to your soups. You can also add it to your eggs, which kind of sounds weird, but if you get your carbohydrates, like a nice scramble with some microgreens and veggie, bam, you're good to go. They have lots of different types of bulgur wheat or chia seeds, pretty much any and everything. Wild rice blend, which is going to have more nutrients because it has multiple different types of rice and it has lots of fiber. Dried lentils. So this is where I would come to stock up on lentils because they last forever. They're really good as a staple. And if you are in a pinch and you're trying to make something cheap and quick, it's always good to have these in your pantry. So they've got lots and lots of rice, lentils, peas, black-eyed peas, pinto beans, garbanzo beans, any of the beans. And if you're not a big fan of cooking dried beans because they take a long time, I recommend getting a rice cooker. So it cooks rice really well and really quickly, but it also cooks dried beans too. So you can always just put them in there and then you have your beans for the week. You can make a dense bean salad. You can make a bunch of chili or like a lentil curry soup. The options are endless. You could really just come and get some beans and rice. The vegetables that you get are at our distributions and then some random spices and herbs. If you put it together and season it well, it's going to taste great. There's also lots of dried nut options, which are a great snack instead of like chips or something else that's not as good for you. Nuts are a really great way to get all the healthy fats that we need for our heart and for our brain, and just to get some extra protein throughout the day. You can keep it in a baggie, in your purse, or your pocket, your bag, and it's always just a good snack to have on the go. They also have dried fruit, which is also great for your snack planning as well. This aisle is just more different nuts and seeds for you to try from, but they also have Sprouts brand nut butters. So there's cashew butter, almond butter, peanut butter. These are way less expensive than some of the name brands that you might get. And when they're made like this, they're typically only made with just the blended peanuts and maybe a little bit of salt. They don't add extra sugar or various other things except for maybe like this dark chocolate almond butter. Well, that's going to be healthier than like a chocolate bar, right? You can get that with some pretzels or like some apples. Be a really, really great snack to satisfy like a little sweet treat craving. But this is a good place to try different butters if you wanted to try one that you're not so sure about. This would be a good place to get it, and it's going to have way less chemicals and additives. So in a perfect world, we're cooking all of our meals all the time and only eating from home, but sometimes that doesn't always happen. So in a pinch, they actually have these pre-made dinner options. Like this one is a garlic and lemon chicken. It has multiple servings of chicken and different vegetables in there, and you just put it in the oven. This one's between about $15 to $16. They have various ones depending on the types of meat, but this is still going to be healthier than getting a to-go drive-through type order. At least it's real food, and you can typically get more than one serving out of it. So it's good for like 2 people. Or if it's just yourself, this could be great for dinner and then maybe lunch the next day. In a pinch, if we need to get something quickly, let's try to find like the healthiest thing we can. And so this is going to be a pretty good option. Thanks for joining us today at our Smart Shopping Edition at Sprouts. I hope that you guys are able to go to your local friendly Sprouts and find some good, healthier alternatives to add to your daily diet and routines. And join us for our next video.